Hi everyone, 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here with a look at the tropics. Let's start right away with Tropical Storm Grace. It made landfall this morning as a Category 1 80-mile-per-hour hurricane near Tulum, Mexico. It was around 8 a.m. Eastern time that happened. You can see now it's moving across the peninsula there and almost basically back out over water again. And so we do expect this to start to flare back up as we go through the next several hours. It'll be back out over water. Conditions above it look pretty decent for strengthening. And in fact, the forecast is calling for that as well too. Right now, winds are at 60 miles per hour. It's moving to the west at 18 and pressure's down to 997. But look at this. By tomorrow morning, it's back up to hurricane strength out over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche. And then by Friday evening, tomorrow night into Saturday morning, it's making landfall again in mainland Mexico with 85-mile-per-hour winds. So it's forecast now to be a little bit stronger than what it made landfall when it made landfall this morning over here on this northeastern tip of Cuba. I mean, this thing went over Jamaica, went over Grand Cayman, then it went right into here, and now it's just going to continue to go right across into Mexico. So at least it's moving quickly at 18 miles per hour, so they don't have to deal with it as long, but that's a tough storm coming through there. Now let's talk about Tropical Storm Henri, but it's actually pronounced Henri. The World Meteorological Organization actually makes the names. They pick the names. And then they provide a pronunciation guide as well, too, and that goes to the Hurricane Center, so that's why we know that it's Henri. But Henri's looking pretty good right now, 70-mile-per-hour winds. By the way, Bermuda's okay. They're right there where the M is in Bermuda, so they're looking good. But we're going to have to watch the Outer Banks, and then this thing is coming right up towards the northeast U.S. There it is right now. You can see where it's currently located. Actually expecting this to start to do a little bit of a turn and then come up to the north and northeast overnight tonight and into tomorrow. That's when that turn will start. So you can see 70-mile-per-hour winds now, but forecast to be a hurricane by tomorrow. In fact, you know what? Let me back this up so you can see that. By tomorrow morning, we're looking at, tomorrow afternoon, 75-mile-per-hour winds. Just about east of Wilmington, Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, that area, but well offshore, not an issue for them. In fact, this is what you want. Surf, Wrightsville Beach, Atlantic Beach, AB, all those places. Outer Banks, good surf coming in. It will be a southeasterly swell at first. Then we'll get a little mixed up with the northeast swell as the storm goes by. Now, here is the issue for the northeast. Look at this thing. Saturday morning, 85-mile-per-hour winds. Saturday afternoon, east of Ocean City, Maryland. Now, way out there. Most of the weather will be out here as well, too. The weather, by the way, is not just in this cone. This is just where the center might go. Okay, so keep that in mind. There'll be some rain being thrown back towards the Delmarva area. Nothing terrible, though. The worst weather will be to the north and to the east of the center. But 90-mile-per-hour winds in this thing by Saturday afternoon. Sunday morning, 85-mile-per-hour winds. Now, what's happening is you get into this area right in here, and you basically have everything down here is 80-plus degree water. Everything north of that line is cooler than 80 degrees, okay? So when the storm gets past this line, due east of Virginia Beach, Ocean City, it's going to weaken a little bit just because it's over cooler water. And that's what you're seeing here. Saturday afternoon, 90-mile-per-hour winds. Sunday morning, 85. Monday morning, 65. Now, some of that's could be land interaction, but a lot of that's over cooler waters. And it needs 80-plus degree water for that engine to keep running, if you will. It uses that warm water basically as gasoline. Now, here's the forecasted wind probability arrival time. And so what you can see here is especially eastern Long Island, we're talking by 8 a.m. Sunday morning, including New York. I mean, there's a chance for tropical storm force winds. Obviously, you can see the colors here. The colors indicate where the highest chance is, and it's out here towards the Cape, Martha's Vineyard, those areas. Boston has a pretty decent chance, and this would be during the day on Sunday as winds would be increasing. So if you're going to do any preps, even in New Jersey, certainly for New York, same difference, right? Certainly by early afternoon on Saturday, you want to get those preps done. Okay, it looks like a tropical storm to me coming there. You can see the probability now, percentage-wise, is about 30 to almost 40% chance. Highest is going to be right here in Massachusetts, of course, as you can imagine, and along the coast. But still 31% chance right now to see tropical storm force winds, and that's winds anywhere from 39 miles per hour to 73. Okay, hurricane would be 74 and up, and the odds of that happening right now are relatively low. You can see most of those winds will stay offshore. This will change a little bit as it gets closer, but the idea is this is weakening. This is shrinking because it's over that cooler water, remember? But look at the numbers now, and you can see a 2% chance in Boston, 3%. And obviously that number is going to be a little bit higher for Martha's Vineyard. So it's still small chance for that to occur at this particular time. So that's where we're looking at right now. Let me take you all the way back up here and show you the rest of the tropics. At this particular point, things are actually fairly quiet, except for those two systems. You can see the remnants of Fred is basically gone. It's moving up through Maine right now. Looking off the African coast, not a whole lot going on right now. There's actually a couple waves that just came off, but there's a lot of dry air up above it. And as a result, to the north of those waves, as a result, I don't expect a lot. Here's the GFS model, and you can see both Grace making landfall in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, and then Henri coming up the coast here, mainly offshore until it gets towards New England. And then it kind of goes towards Maine, too, so even coastal Maine certainly has to watch this. But then notice there's not a whole lot else developing further out you go. So that's actually really good news. And in fact, look at this date, guys. This takes us to the 29th of August. So we'll watch these waves coming across. But right now, that is what we're worried about. And obviously, the main issue is going to be what does Henri do? That gets kind of interesting. I hope you get it right here. Don't forget to like.